What's happening, sports fans? Welcome back to another episode with Mama and Papa Joe. We're continuing with our game day treats. Today in the menu are some fried spare ribs. Let's get it. We've got us a beautiful rack of Prairie Fresh spare ribs, nicely marbled. And the more marbled your ribs are for this recipe, for frying, the better it's going to be. We're going to get this to the sink, rinsed off, and be right back. All right, so here they are, man. You can see that beautiful marbling in here. Any areas with heavier fat that I don't want, you'll remove. Let's get rid of the skirt. It's too lean. We'll remove the membrane. And we're good, folks. Membrane removed. Any heavy fat removed. We're going to be smoking this first before frying. If you wanted to, you could boil or even put this in the oven, but we're going to put it on the grill. All I'm going to season with is some kosher salt. A pretty heavy layer. When I put this on the grill, I'm going to be looking for a golden reddish color. I don't want any dark bark. You get a dark bark, it gets even darker during frying, and it doesn't have that visual appeal. I'm going to flip. I'm going to go directly on a grate. And again, my kosher salt. All right, we're going to let this sweat in while we go get our grill preheated. All right, folks, our fire is ready, man. We've got both baskets filled with some awesome cowboy hardwood lump. I'm going to come in with the pieces of wood of your choice. I'm using cherry today. It's going to really help me get some great color. Very small pieces. On with my grate. And then back over the center with my ribs. And I'm figuring this is going to take 2 hours to maybe 2.5 hours. All right, folks, here we are at an hour. And I don't know what's going on. Wow. And it is not going to take anywhere near 2 hours. This is cooked through. I'm going to pull this off of here. 1 hour. Wow. Let me run and go get a tray. Let's see what this bottom look like. All right, great color. So we're going to let this cool down and we're going to prepare our batter and get to frying. All right, folks, while you weren't looking, I cleaned any of the black little coagulated blood from the back. I scraped the bones from any marrow that might have dried there. We're now just going to separate into individual bones. And you could do this before smoking these, but I just kind of thought that I would get a more moist rib if I did this after smoking. You wouldn't be wrong separating them first. They probably cook faster, but I think they would definitely dry out. And folks, in an hour, I'm here to tell you, these ribs have cooked, man. Wow, look at how juicy these are. All right, folks, our ribs are cooling. What we're going to do first is to make the batter. We've got 2 eggs. I'm going to get these beaten real quick. What I've got here is 3 tablespoons each of cornstarch and flour. Not sure how much of it I'm going to use yet. Just looking for a pancake-like batter texture. I'm going to start with 2 and 2. And we're just going to continue beating this until it's smooth. I think I'm going to add the full 3 and 3. All right, that looks pretty smooth. I love that consistency, no lump. Now we're going to come in here with some of my body of complete seasoning. Remember, we've got plenty of salt. You're going to be able to see little herbs and spices as we coat these ribs in this batter. So our ribs have cooled completely. And folks, I'm here to tell you, man, these are going to get it done. These are nice and tender. They'll finish cooking in our peanut oil. So we're going to come back with all of this batter, and we're going to make sure that everything gets coated well. All right, this should do us right here, folks. We're going to go and get our oil ready. All right, folks, our oil is right around 320 degrees. We're going to be twice frying these. Second time is going to be a shorter length, but hotter. This first fry, we want a nice gentle boiling action. And we're going to go for 3, maybe 4 minutes. We're not going to crowd things. Make sure they're not sticking together. All right, folks, this has been about 4 minutes. That batter is set. We're going to let these cool down on this rack while we fry up the second batch. We're going to make sure our oil is back to about 320 degrees. I think we're good. And in with our second batch. All right, let's get the second batch out. Then we're going to crank our stove up to 375. And we're going to drop these back in for maybe another minute or so until we've achieved the crisp and the color that we want. All right, we've reached 375. And we're going to keep these moving, folks. And we're looking at about a good minute. Folks, that was about a minute and a half to reach max cruncicity. And I think we're there. Oh, yes, I can feel it on these tongs, man. Nice and crispy. All right, so we're going to let that oil come back to temp. And then we're going to drop the last of these ribs. Another minute and a half or so. All right, folks, it's been another minute and a half. And I think we are where we need to be. Turn the stove off. All right, folks. Man, they look great. They smell great. Nice and crispy. Still a little warm. Folks, this is an easy way to prepare these ribs, man. An hour, that's what they took on that hot grill. And then a couple of, maybe total of 6 or so minutes frying. Very, very simple. Still a little warm. And I'm just here to show you folks how well these are cooked. Oh, nice and juicy. I'm not going to bite into these. Man. Wow. Folks, heck of a way to get these done. Too easy. You decide you want to try this, be sure that you don't use a rub with a whole lot of sugar, because they'll darken on the grill and they'll definitely darken in the oil. Wow. We'll be doing this again. Want to thank you guys and gals as usual for hanging out with Mom and Papa Joe. We absolutely appreciate it. Be on the lookout for another video coming very soon. In the meantime, Mom and I want you guys to take care of yourselves, love each other, and we'll see you when we see you. Holla!